Welcome to the Darkstream, VoxDay, VoxDay.blogspot.com, and Infogalactic. A little late tonight. Sorry, we've been busy. Had a successful launch of Martin van Creveld's Hitler in Hell today. So thanks to those of you who have picked up a copy. We appreciate your support. And for those of you who subscribe to Castelli House Book Club, there's a couple free books, including one by me, that you can download. I'd also highly recommend that you read the interview, the brainstorm interview with Martin van Creveld, that is one of the free ebooks that we're giving away. I think you'll find that very interesting. It was one of the more popular ones that we've done over the years. So, anyhow, this will probably be a fairly short one because it's pretty late my time. Just had a big meeting with some folks that we're developing a game with, so that's pretty cool. Have more about that to talk about in about 4 or 5 months, but not yet. What I want to talk about is Infogalactic. Some of you may have seen that we had the first international press talking about it. L'Express, which is a French journal, did a story on it. It was actually surprisingly good. I mean, it was interesting to see that not only was Infogalactic compared favorably to Cuckservative and Metapedia, but they actually spent the final, 20% of the article slamming Wikipedia. So I think that's interesting. But what I want to talk about is a new feature that we are about to add to Infogalactic, and I had some questions, so I just thought some people might have some ideas. But one of the problems with Wikipedia is the fact that you're not supposed to edit your own page. I mean, technically, if I recall correctly, technically they permit it, but realistically, the admins are going to prevent it, and in fact, if they even have a suspicion of it, they will pop up a flag up on the site. I used to get falsely accused of editing my own page, or editing the page about me and so forth, which I thought was kind of crazy, because it's like, well, if I was going to edit the page myself, the first thing I would do is correct my place of birth. They had it wrong for years. Anyhow, I was thinking it's not fair to prevent people from being able to set the record straight. It's just not right. But on the other hand, how do you balance the need to let people set the record straight versus having a page that is fairly neutral and fairly objective? Now, somebody's suggesting here, oh, well, you could have them submit changes that can be verified, dun, 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 dun. Well, that's too difficult. There's way too many people involved. We don't have the number, we don't have anywhere close to the number of people that could waste their time on that. So, what we have done, in fact, I've already seen this in operation in our test bed. In fact, I was the first I was the first guinea pig, is that we're adding verified pages. And what the verified page is going to be is a tab. So if you go to Infogalactic, you can see there's the page, and then it says discussion. And if you click on discussion, then it brings up the history, or it brings up the people discussing that particular page. Well, in the case of verified pages, a verified page is actually going to be a sub-page tied to that specific page. So for example, when you go to the page about Donald Trump, there will, or actually more realistically at this point, if you go to the page about me, there will be it'll say page, and then it will say verified, and then it will say talk. If you click on verified, what will come up is just another version of the page. It'll look exactly like the page. But the difference is only the account that belongs to that individual is going to be permitted to modify that page. Now, obviously there is the risk that people are going to be ridiculous and say things that are not true, or try to sweep things under the table or defend themselves and so forth. But that's fine. If that's who they are, then that will show who they are. I don't think you understood. They have their own. The verified page is going to start out exactly like the main page, the existing page, with the different sections and so forth. And so, people are going to have the opportunity to choose how they come across to people. Now, obviously, if you might choose to simply give people more details about things. Or you might choose to try to put a lot of heavy spin on things and make yourself look better than you should. But you have to keep in mind that one click away is going to be the more objective perspective on you. And so I think that, it will say a lot about a person if they're willing to make themselves look like a complete jackass when there's another page that they can't do anything about that is going to be right there. Yes, the verified page is going to show up the same regardless of the preference. So, so that's what we're going to do. Initially, it's going to be a pretty simple system. If you're notable enough to have a page on Wikipedia, then you will be eligible to have a verified page on Infogalactic. You'll just have to contact us, request it. We'll create the account, set up the account, etc. So it's something that we have complete control over. Where it starts to get interesting, and where we haven't made any decisions or really even had any serious discussions about it, but there's also the question of should we allow corporations to have verified pages that they can access? Should we allow people to have a verified page that is relating to a topic? If so, is that something that we should charge people for? We need to have income. That might be, I don't know, what would it be worth to allow somebody to control the verified page for World War II? I don't know. And what we would do, if we do that, how many verified pages do you permit somebody to access? That's the interesting thing. Obviously in the case of the individual, the page, the verification is permanent. If we were to open it up to that, how long do we let people purchase control of that verified page? I don't know. So these are questions that we have to answer. Yeah, the objective page, or in the future, pages are going to exist regardless. This is not going to have any impact on them whatsoever. That's the thing you need to keep in mind. So that's why I said, like I said, I don't know. And that's why I'm throwing this out there. Any of you, is there a page on Infogalactic that you would want to acquire the verified page for? And if so, what's that worth? I have no idea. It's not something that I've spent a great deal of time thinking about. Our main focus was simply to allow people who are deemed notable the ability to present their own perspective without having to, like, find some friend to battle it out in edit wars with Wikipedia admins and so forth. So, but regardless, this is something that we're going to introduce soon. And what I would encourage you to do initially, would we be comfortable? I mean, if it's their company, then I don't care. They've got the right to say what they want about themselves. That's a good point. What's the point of it? Well, the reason you'd want the verified page is if you're a notable individual. Regardless of the ability to see the perspective, you still want to have the ability to set the record straight yourself, and for people to know that it is you saying that. Being somebody who has a Wikipedia page about him that is often a grounds for contention between various editors and admins. For me, Infogalactic was very helpful in being able to set the record straight. The page about me on Wikipedia is much, much better and much more balanced than it was before Infogalactic started. Now, even though it's on a different site, just the mere fact that there's this other version out there has caused the folks on Wikipedia to be a little bit more balanced. So what I would encourage you to do, if you're a supporter of Infogalactic or a user of Infogalactic, is let the notable figures to whom you are connected, let them know about this. Let them know that Infogalactic exists and that we can give them, for free, a verified page where they can set the record straight. We haven't launched it yet. It's probably going to launch next week. But there's no reason why people who have, Wikipedia notable figures, there's no reason why they can't go ahead and contact us and say, hey, I'd like a verified page. Here's the Wikipedia page, or here's the Infogalactic page about me, because if it's on Wikipedia, it's on Infogalactic. And so, I think that would be a good step forward. So, let's let Richard know. I'll do an announcement on my blog and on Twitter and Gab and that sort of thing. So, these are all possibilities. If nothing else, we will. This is just a starting point. And you're welcome. I don't know what these super hearts are. It like pops up this big message, like, super heart from this person, and then it's got like this icon on the screen, which frankly makes me nervous. I haven't seen a yellow dot before. What does that even mean? Am I supposed to touch it? What does happen if I touch it anyhow? Well, that's disappointing. Apparently nothing happens. Anyhow, the fairy just died. Yeah. Hey, can you tell it's late? I have no idea what's going on. Anyhow, that's what's going on. Let folks know about Infogalactic verified pages, and if they're interested, have them get in touch. And again, for those of you who picked up Martin Van Creveld's Hitler in Hell today, thanks very much. I encourage you to post reviews of it when you're done. And for those of you in the book club, please enjoy the free books. Have a good evening.